Manchin said today he believes his position is, it sounded to me like his position was firm, and he also said that if progressives feel that the Congress should spend $3.5 trillion, that they should convince voters to send more progressives to Washington. That sounded to me like he's saying that through the end of this Congress, he's not going to agree to $3.5 trillion.
We could certainly parse Senator Manchin's words, but I am certain he'll go answer questions again, and your colleagues should ask him more questions.
But why do you think that this is not, why do you think that Senator Manchin's position on this is not final?
Because this is an active negotiation, because he was pushed repeatedly during the gaggle that he did on Capitol Hill about where he stood. But again, I'm not here to speak for Senator Manchin. He certainly can speak for himself and what his points of views are, and I certainly encourage you all to keep asking him questions about where he stands. Go ahead.
Back on the deadline that was set at the beginning of the week, announced that this is the big week. Democrats are in charge here at the White House and in both houses of Congress. And they set the deadline. Democrats set the deadline.
To be clear, they just set the date of a vote.
All right. You called it a deadline. I was just using your.
Okay, fair. But thank you for the clarification. They set the time of a vote.
Democrats set this vote. Now they're going to miss it, fail to make it. Why is
we don't know that. It's only 3 o'clock.
Can you tell us there's going to be a vote tonight?
That's what Speaker Pelosi indicated her plan was.
My question. Wait for that. My question is, why isn't it fair to see this as a failure of the president to get his own party to back him and his agenda?
Why isn't it, before we've even had a vote and we don't even know where it sits, a failure of the president?
It feels like we're farther away today than we were on Monday.
I don't think the president feels that way, and I don't think members of Congress feel that way.
You've talked about progress. Can you explain what progress is? You said it's people talking about where they are. That sounds like an earlier part of the process when you had set a vote for the end of the week.
Well, I would point you again to what Speaker Pelosi said earlier today. In the end stages, the later stages of a process, where we are now, when you get closer to a vote, a time of a vote being set, that's when the negotiations get serious. That's when people start putting down bottom lines of where they stand. You've seen some people do that publicly. A lot more of it happens behind the scenes. That's what I mean by progress. You've seen members come down in numbers. You've seen members come up in numbers. That's what we're working on, to get to an agreed upon path forward.
So there's progress, and it's people behind the scenes saying that with their numbers moving.
They've also said it publicly.
One more. A lot of Democrats are looking at what's happening, and they're saying Senator Manchin and Senator Sinema are holding this president and his agenda hostage. What would you say to them?
I would say we have 50 votes in the Senate, 50 Democrats in the Senate. So we need the majority to win. That's how a bill becomes a law.
They've got the leverage.
We need all 50 votes in the Senate to move this forward. That's where we stand now. Go ahead.
I just wanted to go back to the debt ceiling for a second. Democrats control all branches of government right now. Can you assure the American people and the financial markets that the United States will not default on its debt?
That is absolutely what we're trying to accomplish. And I'd remind you that we would have gotten that done had Republicans done what they've done 80 times before, supporting a bipartisan vote to do something that has been pretty standard in the past, or if they had allowed Leader Schumer to move forward. But absolutely, we're going to do everything to prevent the federal us from defaulting.
Does the plan involve changing Mitch McConnell's mind, Leader McConnell's mind in some way, or is there a plan to just go forward?
Well, Leader Schumer's already been working to move things forward, and it's been blocked by Republicans. Not just their vote. An effort to move it forward has been blocked.